This is the FCTO Daily Forex News Report for the 2nd of April 2013. Purchasing managers' indexes are in focus post-Easter time after data released on Monday showed that in the US, the Institute for Supply Management's Manufacturing Purchasing Managers' Index staged a marked decline and Chinese PMIs also failed to beat expectations in March. The Institute for Supply Management's Manufacturing Purchasing Managers' Index fell to a disappointing 51.3 in March from 54. However, the details of the report were in fact less dismal than the headline figure, with notably the employment index higher and indications that the housing and automotive sectors are doing well. Also, February's data on construction spending revealed that the US property market continues to recover. Thus, while the large drop in the headline ISM PMI is the first clear sign that the US fiscal issues are taking their toll on both activity and sentiment, it nevertheless appears that the US consumer may in fact have been reasonably resilient. This suggests that while a US soft patch is unavoidable, it may not be as profound and prolonged as one could have feared given recent extensive federal budget cuts. A few key developments in Europe over the Easter period to note. In Cyprus, banks opened again, and despite strict capital controls now in place, withdrawals took place in a relatively orderly fashion. However, over the weekend it has emerged that large depositors in the Bank of Cyprus may face a much larger haircut than initially thought, and that the loss for Lakai depositors may also be larger than first suggested. At the same time, however, Cyprus has been given an extra year to 2017 to meet budget targets and may negotiate yet another one. In Italy, Bersani failed to form a government, but Italian President Napolitano has vowed to stay until his mandate runs out mid-May, and thus no new elections will be called at this stage. Two groups of mediators have now been formed to come up with government programme proposals. Thus, while the situation in the Eurozone has calmed down somewhat following the Cypriot bailout, markets could remain nervy, not least if European data continues to come in on the weak side. In equity markets, US indices closed down after the weak ISM report. Asian markets are mixed this morning, with notably the Nikkei dragged down by a stronger Japanese yen. In the Forex market, the US dollar has lost against all other majors overnight, with the Japanese yen in front. The Australian dollar was supported by the Reserve Bank of Australia, holding its cash rate target unchanged at 3% this morning, as widely expected, and Governor Stevens reiterated previous hints that further rate cuts are not imminent. The Japanese yen has been the big winner over the Easter period, as poor US data has added to safe haven demand ahead of the Bank of Japan meeting later this week, where we expect that a set of changes to the asset purchase program, including making it open-ended, will weigh on the yen. Euro-US dollar has traded in a fairly narrow range, being largely confined to the 1.2750 to 1.2850 interval over Easter. The pair rose after the disappointing ISM report, confirming the recent tendency for the US dollar to react positively to good data points and vice versa. Unsurprisingly, investors continue to short the single currency on a net basis in the week to the 26th of March amid the Cyprus crisis. This is according to latest CFTC data. Adding to the picture of the euro moving out of favour, on a more structural note was the release last week of the quarterly COFER data from the IMF, showing developing countries dumping the euro from their Forex reserves. We think the euro could be in for another tough week ahead of Thursday's European Central Bank meeting, not least if Eurozone data disappoints today, as the possibility of rate cuts will remain a key discussion point. The focus today will be on Italian President Napolitano's continued negotiation to create the foundation for a new government after the leader for the centre-left Democratic Party, Bersani, was not able to find a support for a minority government last week. Focus will now be on first agreeing on a common political and economic programme. The president has appointed two small groups of advisers representing mainly Bassani's Democratic Party and Silvione Berlusconi's People of Liberty. It appears that the populist Five-Star Movement has been largely left out of the negotiations and focuses on creating a grand coalition or alternatively a new technocratic government with support from the two main fractions in the parliament. The two groups of advisers will meet today at 11 a.m. and 12 a.m. Central European Time respectively. On the data front, focuses on manufacturing PMIs in Europe in the euro area, where a preliminary estimate has been released. Focus will be on the first estimates for Italy and Spain. Germany will also release preliminary March CPI today. Finally, speeches by Fed members Koka and Lockhart are scheduled for this evening. For all the news affecting the Forex market throughout the day, please join us at forexcurrencytradingonline.co.uk. That's forexcurrencytradingonline.co.uk.